Hi Scrappy friends, it's Melinda here with you today, and I am sharing this page that I am creating for the ScrappingClearly design team. Today I am working with the, what month are we in? April. It's April already, I can't believe it. I'm working with the April sketch, and as you can see I'm working with these two photos. One of hubby and myself, and of a beautiful West Australian sunset. These photos were taken at Sculptures by the Sea last year, and I just really like them with the colours of the florals here. I thought they were a really good match. So these florals have been cut from one of the Kaiser Ooh papers. So I've just fussy cut them, and you can see I've cut them from the edges so they'll just slide under. And this little guy was from the bottom branding strip, so that'll just slide under as well. I think, however, first I am going to get my mixed media on and give a bit of contrast. I think I'm going to go with some of the green spray that was sent to me in my last kit. But first I am going to do a quick coat of clear gesso. I'm going clear today because I really love the pattern of this wood grain, and I really want to still be able to see that through the colour that I put down. So I'm going to pop you on fast forward and get creating. So I'm back with you, and as you can see I am using my, I think it's Prima brand clear gesso, applying a super quick thin coat of gesso all over that background. As I mentioned, I didn't want to cover up the pattern, so I've gone with clear. Just using an old credit card to apply that and quickly drying it off with my heat tool. I'm using the Art Anthology in Avocado, the spray, to do a little bit of the packaging technique behind those flowers. So I just start by applying some colour. Again, I give it a quick blast with the heat gun. Then I decide that it's probably a good idea to attach all my bits so that I can move them as one big piece. Oh no, first I put them all back and realise that I'm covering up half of the watercolory background. So this is where I think I decided to, once I get the placement right, I stick all the bits together so that I can move them all as one big piece. Because every time I touch it, the whole plot moves and it's annoying. So I'm starting with some foam, and I am just applying that to the photos to give that a bit of dimension up from the flowers in the background. I'm just applying that to the back. Just use my ATG to stick the flowers onto the back as well where I want them placed. Those florals are so pretty. I'm so glad that I took the time to fussy cut them. So I come back in with some more of that avocado spray and do some more smooshing, just so that it's peeking out from behind those layers. It's much easier to move all of that as one big piece than trying to position it every time. So I'm happy with how the green's looking, but I realised that there is one of the flowers that is half cut off. It was on the edge of the paper, and so I decided to cut that off, and I just really like the way that looks better. It sort of gives a bit more breathing room. Next up, so this is my colour shimmer dust from Colour Blast. I've just added, so what I do is once I've mixed up the colour, I just leave it to air dry rather than rinsing it down the sink. And I'm just adding a little bit of water to reactivate, and I think I'm using the navy, and I am just applying some sprinkles across that green background. Just wanted the contrast of the blue with the green and that peachy colour in the florals. Give that a quick dry off, and I'm trying to show you the shimmer. I've got to work out a way to show close-ups better without that flickering happening. So as you can see, my paper's warped a fair bit, it is only a pattern paper, and I found often with Kaiser Craft papers that's what happens. But I have also discovered that if I lay it underneath a 12 by 12 album, then it flattens out really quickly overnight. So I decided to grab a doily from my stash. That long piece is going to essentially be my title. I didn't really feel like adding more for the title, so I just didn't think that it needed it. I've cut that down into strips, and then I'm just trimming those strips down. They were just a little bit too thick for what I wanted. Again, with the quilter's ruler and the rotary cutter, and I'm just placing those where I think I want them. Now that says, the best things in life are the people we love, the places we've been, and the memories we've made. They do end up more on that side, which is exactly where I'm putting them now. And then I go to, I think, oh no, I decided I wanted to bring a bit more blue into where the photos are. So from my last page, I cut all these triangles, and I decided to just use a couple as, so I've used one as a photo corner there, and then I use a couple more on the corners of the page. And then I use a couple more and layer them up on the corners of the page. You don't see me do it, but I do end up ruffling up the edges of the two different triangles on the corners just to give a bit of texture. I'm thinking the rest of those triangles I might use in an art journal page, but I'm not really sure. Just applying that that photo corner there, pulling it out and deciding to chop it down a bit more because there was a little bit too much showing. Then I decided to do one in the other corner. I go to stick it down and rip it. Whoops! So I find another one and cut out the center. The reason I'm cutting out the center is because of the foam behind. I didn't want to pull all of the layers apart. So trimming off the branding strip. I so often forget to do this until my layout's like 2/3 done. When do you normally cut off your branding strip? Right at the beginning or halfway through? I just forget it's there. So I decide at this point that I'm going to stick my photo and flowers down, and I realize that my flowers are going to get smushed and be a bit weird. So I go in with some more fun foam. Again, I don't make you watch all of that. It's just cutting fun foam, applying adhesive, and sticking the whole lot down. I'm going to come in now with my Scotch Quick Dry and attach my title, journaling, something, not really sure what I'd call it. And then I do come in with my pencil and my T-square ruler, and I think I do like 3 lines of journaling, just saying where we were and that we'd had a fun day, pretty much. I'm using my foosball pen, I think it's called. It writes beautifully on the gesso. I've not been able to find anything else that does. I am coming up to the end of the page here. I decided to stamp the date, which was March last year, and do some sprinkles of the green. I just felt that it needed a little bit of something extra. This green is a really pretty colour. I really like it. Thanks for sending it to me, Kylie. Just pulling up some of the wetness from the drips of colour so it dries off a bit quicker. I'm a bit impatient. And a quick close-up. And here is the photo. And I don't remember if I mentioned, I am working with the sketch. which I did share right at the beginning, and there will be a photo of it in the blog post. So as always, thank you very much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I love hearing from you guys, and I love it that my numbers slowly creeping up. I'm really, really excited to have so many subscribers. I hope you have a fantastic scrappy day, and I will speak to you again very, very soon.